Welcome everybody to the TeenSpace podcast, a teen commentary where we talk about our interests, whether personal or mutual. I'm your host Caesar, and I'm here joined today by Isaiah. How you doing, man?
Hey, how you doing? I'm doing good. How about you? How's your day going?
Oh, it's been great actually.
Perfect. Yeah.
I actually started off a little tired, but when I got to school, it kind of wrote out. I kind of wrote it out a bit, and I'm feeling a lot better.
That's good. It's good.
All right, so today I actually wanted to get your opinions on something really important to me. I wanted to kind of ask you based on social media in of itself and its impact. So for you, for you, because you're interested in music and all that other stuff, what do you think about social media and all these people going on it as well?
Well, there's a lot of positives and negatives about social media. I think what people get wrong, I think mostly the older generation, they kind of don't understand kind of like how social media has changed the game for most people out there.
In what way would you say that?
Well, socially, I mean, yes, you can be disconnected at times from social media. Social media in real life, because a lot of people are hidden behind a screen, so it reduces that sort of human interaction, and I think that's kind of detrimental. Like, that's pretty bad, in my opinion. But there's also positives to it, where as you know, networking and meeting new people, you know, using hashtags. Those are all like tools that you could use to your advantage with networking and all those things.
For me, social media I kind of came across it by chance. I will say that when I first started, I kind of went in there not thinking of much. I just came across them one day. When I first got introduced, I was 14. I was introduced to Google Plus, which was like a very alternative. It was an alternative to Facebook, and I actually didn't know that myself until I looked it up last year. Google Plus for me, when I first started, I just wanted to see, because I always noticed it on the Gmail tab, and I just thought, what is it? And I want to know what it's about. I saw the feed, I saw what was going on, and I decided to make an account. When I did that, I put a few posts, and I started to notice I was getting attention, and there's a lot of people in the community. There was so many people to talk to. I just got really interested and so immersed with so much going on. I just really got immersed. After a while, I just kind of noticed a pattern going on, though. With the people I was talking to, I didn't realize it myself, but I was starting to get a connection that was false. I was thinking I had a personal connection with the people I was talking to, when in reality, it was just a chance conversation. There was nothing personal about it. It was just we shared mutual interests, and that was just it. And after some time, it started to kind of get me upset. I was going through a period where I was starting to get a little, not depressed per se, but I was starting to get sad. I was having spells where I kind of felt unmotivated. And to be honest, it was just very difficult for me to even articulate or even think about my own emotions, because even at the time, my emotional state was not that great.
Right.
And I think for the most part, going away from it, it was after I had gotten into it, I started slowly disconnecting. I started slowly disconnecting from reality, and I started prioritizing and making my social media my main focus when I got home from school. Every day, it was the same pattern. Go to talk. There was people I even specifically talked to for a long period of time. It was fun, but there was just something that kind of felt like it was eating at me at times. I just didn't feel comfortable, and at times I just had to walk away. And I generally think social media as a whole, it should be something that you should be able to experience firsthand. But you shouldn't make that your main focus. You should walk away, experience things outside of social media, because it's good to rejuvenate with different material and new things to look at. But after a while, you need to step away from the screen, because you don't realize how much fun you have outside of it.
In my opinion, you are kind of right. I do believe that is very true. I feel like you should have like a really set and you should be emotionally ready. You know, you need to be stable in order to, like, you know, be in social media, because if you're not really emotionally stable and you're going to social media, you're going to start caving in with this, you know, because people also get it wrong. And it's that social media, people post their best moments, okay? Like, let's
you don't know anything behind what you post.
Like, I'm not going to post this photo of me with a double chin, you know? Like, it's just not gonna happen. You know, I'm gonna post like my
That makes
best
one
photo.
of us. That makes one of us.
You know, me in the nature or something like that. You know, me and my spiritual lumberjack self.
Yeah, you wanna
Yeah.
you wanna big yourself up in any way, and honestly,
Right,
that's
right.
fine. Nobody's contradicting you or criticizing you. But here's what the purpose of social media is to show those moments and sometimes go about it. I think the way social media kind of advanced, it adapted very quickly. It went from just a small little idea, a little bubble to communicate with people and kind of talk a little more publicly. And little by little, it started to have more avenues. It started going into not just speaking, but posting, not just posting, but putting out music, not just music, but promoting yourself, kind of
Right,
getting
right.
yourself out there. And I don't fault anybody for that. Believe it or not, but it's a really fun place. It can be a good and positive place for you, and it's a fun ride. It's a thrill. You don't know what to expect with memes, with music, with clothing, even on like online shopping. I do that a lot.
Everything is on social media.
Yeah, everything is on social media, and it's only going to continue
Yeah.
from here on out. I just think that social media should not be too much. Like, not everybody should dive into it. It's not for everybody. Because at that point in time, because if you go into it, it wasn't for me initially. Because at that time,
Why do you say it's not for everybody though? Like, what
It's-
do you mean by
for me,
it's not?
I don't think
for
it is for
the
everybody,
general.
because not everybody will enjoy it. Everybody has different tastes. Not everybody's going to enjoy that level of entertainment, because social media can be entertaining. It can be, but for other people, it can be a negative place. It can be toxic, and it just isn't
right.
overall fun. And at times I experience it too. I didn't think it was fun for a while. In the beginning, until just a couple years ago, I would never touch Instagram, Snapchat, Kick, things like that. But I started moving into it because friends were there. I knew some very close friends who moved into it. But for a while, I just disconnected because I was going through I was going through a very bad patch in my life, because it was causing a, how do I word it? I was starting to get very conflicted with my own self, because
Okay.
by then my mental state was not good. My mental state
Okay.
was everywhere. I was discombobulated. I was confused. I was tired. And little by little, after some time, I realized that it was partially because of social media, the involvement. I went in there while I was depressed, and I went in there when I was very close to thinking about suicide. And that,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
me,
Okay.
I was at such a vulnerable point that any level of negativity would hurt me, and it did. And I was very close to kind of not performing it, but I was in the stages of I was going to try to think about ideas of ways to do it. All I had was voices going in my head, but little by little, I almost got into that phase of what should I do to
Right,
kind
right.
of end this.
Okay.
That was a very dangerous point, but fortunately for me, I was able to consciously think, this is not good for me. I need to go seek out help. As much as my pride won't let me do it, I need to do it for my own safety and for my own security. And after that, I decided I'm not going to rely so much on everything. I need to be more neutral. I need to be more aware of myself. I went out and got help from friends, family, counselors, probably teachers. I was more open about things with these people than I was online. Because online, you never know who you're going to get to tell you this stuff.
Right.
You need assurance. You need help. You need security. You're not going to get it's not going to a confirmed thing you're going to get online with people you don't even know. Because there's a lot of people that you don't want to be on the wrong side of. You don't want these people's attention. Because social media, as fun as it is, it can be a very bad place too.
Right. So what do you think you benefit now from social media? Like, what, now that you're out of that stage, like, what do you love most about it? Like, what is so great about it?
For me, it's a very good avenue. It's always been this way. It's a very good avenue for me to reach out to friends, and because it's also another way to reach out to them when they don't have my number or they can't reach me. I can reach them through iOS, or I can send messages to them. I can send memes. I love sending stuff to them, but I can't get to it because of messaging, and I don't have their phone number. So that's not gonna work. And sometimes I even have to talk to them internationally, so that becomes an even bigger problem. But with social media, you can use that because that's what a lot of people use Facebook for. Even my family, because we have relatives in Mexico, we can talk to them through social media, and we can show them things that we're comfortable with,
Yeah,
and that we want to get
for
expressed.
sure. And not only that, but it's just so much easier now to be social, right? Like it just on your phone, like just like that, you can pull up Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is, and you can talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. Can you imagine back in the day what it was like?
People would probably be people.
Yeah.
I think it was nice. I think it's nice though to be able to be more open and have more human interaction. That sort of
Yes,
stuff
that
would be
too.
much more fun. But also have a balance. If you're gonna be on social media, be on social media. But if you're gonna have human interaction, have some time for that and just mix it up. You don't need to always just focus on one thing.
Just know that social media is in some way, shape or form, it's just not real. If you think about it, like I said earlier, a lot of people sensationalize the things they post, and they post all the positive things, not really the negative things. So just keep that in mind. Is that it's just these people who, like we all do. We all love to indulge in the things we like, and we like to explore and post those things, and that's great. I think that's very great. I think that's a good thing where we can all connect. But for those who are not emotionally stable, and who don't really have the awareness to go about those sort of problems, I think that can be, like I said, that can be hurtful to that person if you don't know that, hey, like this is how social media works.
Yeah. I think on that we'll probably end it there. It was a really good eye opener. I think it was a really good thing to talk about, and it kind of gives perspective on what it is that we think about it. I personally kind of grew as grew as a I grew as a result of this, and I'm glad that I was able to get it out and have somebody else to kind of understand my perspective. And with that, I want to thank everybody who tuned in. Thank you, Isaiah, for joining me
Thank
today.
you for having me. Yes, thank
And
you.
that concludes our podcast today.